Spring is here, and so is the pollen that has so many people sort of dabbing their eyes and rubbing their nose.
Yeah, we got a lot of that tissue down
right
here,
over there.
Meteorologist Caitlin McGrath joins us now with more on why you might be noticing your seasonal allergies more than in previous years, Caitlin.
Yeah, Lorenzo and Leslie, it really comes down to warming global temperatures and the impact on the growing season. Longer periods of freeze-free days means that trees and plants have more time to flower and release that agitating pollen. A study recently revealed that the pollen season in North America became longer by an average of 20 days and more intense, with a 21% increase in pollen concentrations from 1990 to 2018. And people are definitely feeling the effects.
I never had them when I was younger, and then like 2 years ago I started getting like watery eyes and like a little stuffy nose situation. Nothing crazy, so yeah.
I feel like last year specifically was the first year I was like, this feels a lot worse. A lot of drippy nose, all that fun stuff. It was awful.
Symptoms for people with seasonal allergies aren't only getting worse, they're starting earlier.
One of the trends that I'm seeing is patients saying that their allergy symptoms are starting earlier and earlier. And I hear this every year.
Nilu Tumala is an ear, nose, and throat physician at George Washington University's School of Medicine and the co-director of the Climate Health Institute, and says increased carbon dioxide in the atmosphere is thought to be one of the main contributing factors to higher pollen levels.
When you have increased CO2 and have higher levels of pollen, of course you're going to have worsening pollen allergy symptoms because there's more pollen to deal with.
Studies have also shown that the pollen itself is more allergenic, meaning that it produces more symptoms.
And so pollen now tends to produce more symptoms of, again, sneezing, nasal congestion, itchy, watery eyes, postnasal drainage than pollen previously.
If you're prone to seasonal allergies, you may want to start taking steps now to alleviate symptoms. Oral allergy medications and eye drops should be used on days when symptoms are bothersome, but effective nasal sprays need more lead-up time.
We usually like to start these sprays in patients about 2 weeks before the onset of pollen allergy seasons. So now that tree pollen levels are already high, if you have not started, and these are medications that you normally take to manage your pollen allergy symptoms, I do recommend going ahead and starting them or touching base with your healthcare provider to make sure that they're the right thing to move forward with.
Scientists are also seeing pollen appearing in new geographic regions. That's related to changes in temperature and precipitation patterns. When you have trees able to grow in new regions, then you're introducing new pollen to that region, and people who are otherwise not sensitized to pollen may now become sensitized and develop allergy symptoms. It just kind of makes you cringe, right? You can feel for all of the people we just saw there in that video. All right, now there are simple actions you can take this time of the year to help mitigate the impacts of pollen. First and foremost, check the pollen counts. You can always find the latest pollen measurements on our WUSA9 app or website. And on days when pollen is high, it might just be best to stay inside, especially if it's windy and the pollen will be blowing around. The best time to get outside and avoid allergens is after a good rain. Make sure you keep your windows closed when you're driving and when you're at home, and avoid mowing the lawn top, or this one's for you, pulling weeds, picking up sticks, and other outdoor activities that can stir up the pollen.
Yeah, thank you, Top.
And remove your clothes that you've worn outside, and make sure you shower to rinse off the pollen from your skin and hair. I always notice it in my hair and on my pillow. And don't forget about your pets. Give them a bath as well to help keep them clean.